Welcome, everyone, and thanks for joining us for the Venture Accelerator Fall Showcase. This is a great event. I recall the last time we did this in November, I guess it was 2019, so it's been a while in Venice, and it's really extraordinary what our student founders do, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the presentations later in this program. It goes without saying that the last 19 months have been very challenging, but tonight you'll hear from startup founders who've kept going despite these challenges, demonstrating the kind of resilience and adaptability that we'd like to see in all our students, and which is critical to being a successful entrepreneur. And that adaptability is really key and is really central to the Price Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation. Anderson has been teaching entrepreneurs and supporting their dreams for almost 50 years. And the tenacity, drive, and optimism that entrepreneurs possess are the qualities we need now more than ever. And it's wonderful to see our students embrace that mindset. You'll hear shortly from Trish Halamandaris, who's our dynamic leader and director of the Venture Accelerator, and she'll introduce you to the founders who'll be presenting later this evening. I'm sure you'll be inspired by them. I'm, as I said, very much looking forward to and always find inspiration in the incredible innovation and entrepreneurship of our students. Obviously, the last 19 months have been challenging, but one of the very positive notes that we've seen consistently at Anderson over the last 19 months is the Accelerator and its annual program with its incredible 85% success rate for graduating companies, which is truly extraordinary. And the numbers for our early stage accelerator, known as Accelerate, are truly impressive. 2 acquisitions, $144 million raised in venture capital, and $43 million in revenue across 73 companies. And throughout the pandemic, the Accelerator and its staff was fully operational. And they even added a summer incubator program called Activate that supported 92 founders over the past 2 summers. So an extraordinary amount of activity in these very, very challenging times. The Accelerator supports founders at the graduate level from across the entire UCLA campus, as well as Anderson alumni, and even founders outside of our network in the LA startup ecosystem. We offer extensive immersive resources to founders who connect Anderson to our community, to prospective students, to alumni, and our current students. It really does take a village. I know you've heard that over and over again. And it's important that we support these efforts. Part of what we do is prepare our students to be successful in the private sector and a variety of organizations. We also have a public mission, and being part of a ecosystem, an innovation ecosystem in our region is also central to our mission. And we believe that these activities are really fundamentally changing society. One of the trends that I know many of you know is many of our students are pursuing the business creation option. Last year alone, 300 students from across our MBA programs enrolled in the business creation option to fulfill their master's degree. And these are students who are coming up with innovative ideas for new ventures, many of which are successful and advance societal needs. I'm very proud to lead this institution. I'm very proud of this program, and I'm very grateful for the role that each of you plays in supporting its success. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for your support. Your contributions will help us flourish today and into the future. So thanks for being here. I'm looking forward to the presentations. And now I'd like to hand it over to Al Osborne. Al, as you all know, has been really central to all the innovation and entrepreneurship activities at the school here for now 5 decades. And he's the founder and faculty director of the Price Center, and really a wonderful asset for the school. Thank you, Al. I'll hand it over to you.
Through my voice amplifier. And it is not only wonderful to sort of add my welcome to that of the deans, but really this is the 6th showcase event, and it's a marvelous opportunity to bring together what we all try to do in a very significant way, to express a vision, an idea, and to have an opportunity to work through it. The Accelerator was one of those ideas, and there are a lot of folks that brought it and made it possible. it wouldn't have happened, because some of you may not know that the accelerator space used to be nothing but stacks of books in the basement of the Rosenfeld Library. And we owe a lot of effort was put in place, and we appreciate the work of many people, including Elaine Hagen and others who helped shape the vision that brought about a combination of support from donors like Bill Grabe, Jim Friedman, and of course the Rosenfelds, that led to make that vision a reality. For anything that's interesting, somebody early on had a role to make it happen. Now, many of you have given of your time, of your talent, some of your resources to help make this happen. And I want you to know that we will continue to ask you for your time, your talent, and maybe some of your resources as well, because it takes all of it to make it happen. At the core of what we do in the curriculum at the Anderson Schools over these 50 years is try to develop what I call an entrepreneurial competence. We want students out there that are going to change the world, that are going to carry forth a mission, that have an entrepreneurial mindset. And we believe that that's the foundation of your ability to assemble not just the management fundamentals and the technical knowledge, but the persistence and the passion that is necessary to bring something to fruition. Those who start business, like in the Accelerator, in my judgment, are taking on one of the hardest jobs in our society. But the rewards are fabulous, not just personally, but what you do for community and what you do for society with innovations. And where else but to have a chance to do that here in Los Angeles. The location of LA and other resources on the UCLA campus are just the beginning to the energy you will bring and we have brought to make the startups and the Accelerator a wonderful beginning to building the wealth that's so necessary for our society to advance. And so the startup economy that we have here and the linkages we have able to make with others in Silicon Beach, downtown Los Angeles, and all of the areas of interest of great importance, whether it's solving the affordable housing problem, or it's working on energy, new forms of it, working on new devices, and in particular, the area of healthcare. Our Anderson MBA students in the Accelerator are making dreams come true. And tonight, you will see several that have been incubated in the Accelerator and that have had the chance to extend their learning in our curriculum through the Business Creation Program. The companies that you'll hear shortly have committed a rigorous training and preparation to make this happen. And the programs of the Accelerator, the Entrepreneur Association, and the Pride Center, and the mentors and advisors is what's making it happen. Central to all of this, of course, is the faculty and the staff and the volunteers of part of this broad ecosystem. I want to thank everybody for their commitment. I want to thank those of you who are here to see and participate. I particularly want to thank my colleagues in the Price Center and in the Accelerator. You'll hear from Trish and Helen Mandaris and Elaine Hagen, and of course, Jeff Scheinrock, who has made the BCO the applied program we thought it would be. And so, Trish, it's time for me to turn it over to you and for me to sit down. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank you, Dr. Osborne and Dean Bernardo, for kicking off our showcase event and for the constant support of the Accelerator. I always love tonight because it's the culmination of the spirit and effort of early stage founders whose traction is made possible by a lot of you watching tonight to help the next generation of entrepreneurs. We are so lucky to have you in the UCLA Anderson community. Of particular importance tonight, I do want to talk about Anderson's support of minority and female founders. Diversity is a key tenet for the university, and you will see it tonight with 50% of the presentations being from female founders. However, new data just came out that shows venture capital funding continuing at less than 3% awarded to this population, while female founders are now outperforming their male peers financially. It is time that we equal the playing field, provide the access. You will see, I believe you will see the quality and traction tonight in such investments in our founders. And like a lot of companies in the past year, our prior staff also moved on. So tonight we welcome our refreshed, and very talented new team who's been working tirelessly to make tonight happen. The advisory staff includes Fallon Coleman, Beatina Teopold, and Ray Park. And we're always guided by Elaine Hagan and Jen McMillan to keep us down on the right path. So thank you. Tonight's presentations are live. They're not pre-recorded. You can tell we're all in masks in the building due to the university's pandemic policies, but we are miking the speakers for clarity. The companies presenting tonight are from the Accelerator and from the Business Creation Option Program, which is led by the incomparable Jeff Shinerock. We have our social tags on the screen behind me. If you are moved by founders' pitches, please support by posting in your social channels and using any of the hashtags. And then with your RSVP, you should have received a digital brochure. This includes the order of presentation, and it has a clickable URL that if you would like to get in touch with one of the founders tonight, you can go ahead and do so direct. So now let's get on with why we're all here, which is to hear the pitches from all the founders. First up tonight is Emily Smith with her company, New Fits. Emily, do it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Emily Smith, founder and CEO of NuFix. We are a plant-based nutrition company that revolutionized protein powder. Every cell in the human body contains protein. You need protein in your diet to help your body repair cells and create new ones. Essential amino acids cannot be made by the body and must be supplied by food. As we shift away from animal proteins, we need to fill that void with quality plant protein. I realized how difficult this was when searching for a plant-based protein powder that I could add to my recipes. I remember being at my friend's lake house making oatmeal for breakfast and adding in a scoop of their organic Vega protein powder, the most expensive at grocery stores. I took one bite and lost my appetite. I forced myself to take a few more bites and then gave up. The protein ruined the taste of my blueberry oats and left it with a chalky sand-like texture. I forced myself and stopped. I felt bloated shortly after and couldn't understand how my friend would consume this. The response was that it was just necessary, like medicine. I started to question what was inside and where the protein source, the peas, even came from. My research concluded that the peas in my oats could come from 47 different countries. I was also shocked to learn the results of the Clean Label Project study that reviewed 134 of the top-selling protein powders according to Nielsen and Amazon. 75% had elevated levels of lead, and 55% had elevated levels of BPA. The study concluded that the issue lies in the contaminated soil in which the ingredients are grown and in the traditional plastic tub packaging. I learned I wasn't alone in my search for a solution as I asked family, friends, and coworkers for suggestions and was still at a loss. When the pandemic hit, and health became top of mind for consumers, I still hadn't found a solution. So I decided it was time to create a nutrition company that would innovate. In June, NuFix launched 3 delicious flavors of heavenly protein powder. Our domestic pea sourcing benefits the body and the planet. Purchasing 1 bag of heavenly protein powder reduces CO2 emissions equivalent to driving from LA to Austin versus purchasing one from imported peas. It's certified organic, vegan, gluten-free, keto, and contains all 9 essential amino acids. We use a minimal list of clean, functional ingredients. Beyond using it in just a shake, we've inspired our community to use it to cook pancakes, say goodbye to taking protein powder down with medicine, and say hello to savoring each sip and bite. You may be looking at this chart wondering if ours is really that much better. And the answer is yes, the iPhone is that much better than a BlackBerry. NuFix is paving the way, redefining plant protein, just as Apple did with smartphones by creating the iPhone. We created a clean, delicious, and nutritious plant protein powder. We use a patented digestive enzyme blend, Aminogen, that helps your body break down, digest, and absorb the protein. Say goodbye to bloating. Fueled by prioritization of health and wellness, the natural and organic products industry saw record growth in 2020, increasing to reach $259 billion and is on track to surpass $300 billion in the next 2 years. With our existing powder business and future product launches, we can capture a substantial market share by providing better options for products with existing markets. NuFix is gaining fast traction. Since beginning our launch this June, we've already been on the shelf at 41 stores and growing weekly as grocers reach out to carry our line. We're the #1 selling plant protein powder at Erewhon, LA's most premium grocer chain. Since launching only a few months ago in June, once again, our revenue has hit $150,000 at a 60% gross margin, and we haven't raised any outside capital yet. As we open more retail doors and invest in digital marketing, our monthly sales are expected to experience triple-digit growth. For instance, we're in talks with Whole Foods now to open the Southern Pacific region, which would automatically open another 56 stores. What makes my journey as an entrepreneur most rewarding is the community we've built, the Fix Fam. We're introducing an app in the new year to retain and grow our Fix Fam with exclusive perks. Next quarter, we are launching our financial raise, seeking strategic investors who believe in our mission to redefine plant protein with our powder and more. If you're interested in connecting, please reach out. Thank you so much, everyone.
My name is Glenn Marowitz, CEO and co-founder of Safer and a proud Bruin. I'm excited to talk to you tonight about Safer, a novel medical device that provides personalized and precision lung therapy to patients undergoing mechanical ventilation that reduces lengths of time in the ICU by greater than 10% and lowers mortality. Mechanical ventilation is a frequent topic in the news. It's a life-sustaining tool used by over 20 million patients every year in the United States. Despite this, the standard of care for ventilation is over 20 years old. The lack of personalization of lung support leads to increased rates of lung injury, longer patient time on a ventilator, and increased rates of complications, including mortality of up to 44% in some patient populations. Let's start off by diving into some pulmonology 101. In a normal, healthy patient, air is distributed evenly between the lungs when they breathe. However, some patient populations may develop an asymmetric or unilateral lung injury. When this happens, air is no longer evenly distributed to the lungs. This can cause ineffective therapy and potentially dangerous lung pressures. Combined, these lead to longer patient time on a vent, increased rates of lung injury, and potentially death. Safer is the first and only device that's able to monitor and correct for this type of lung injury. And patients who use Safer can again breathe in a symmetric way that reduces the risk of lung injury. For the 1.3 million Americans who suffer from acute respiratory failure every year, this represents a new standard of care. We estimate the total addressable market for personalized lung therapy to be $4.5 billion, growing at an annualized rate of 16%. And this is based on the total number of respiratory support procedures performed across the United States and the average value of personalized care. Based on our initial indication of use in critical care settings, we estimate a target market of $900 million. And we expect this to grow in the years following launch as the indication of use for our device become increasingly varied. The field of respiratory support is dominated by incumbents, with the top 3 players controlling over 75% of market share. Mechanical ventilation is a tool that's used to push gas into a patient's lungs, and extracorporeal gas transfer devices such as ECMO are tools that pull blood out of the patient's body to perform oxygenation. These tools across respiratory support are often expensive and associated with high rates of procedural complications. SAFER offers the opportunity to reduce the rate of complications while also reducing the cost of these procedures. So what is SAFER exactly? SAFER is a novel, patented platform that delivers personalized and precision lung therapy for patients undergoing mechanical ventilation that utilizes real-time monitoring and machine learning. But beyond these buzzwords, personalized means that we are able to monitor the injury level of patient lungs and individualize care. Precision means that we can target therapy to exactly where it's needed in order to optimize outcomes. SAFER allows us to monitor injury and target therapy. And combined, this lets us reduce patient time in the ICU by 10% and lower mortality. By reducing patient time in the ICU, we expect SAFER to offer an annual savings of $6 million for a 500-bed hospital, such as Ronald Reagan Hospital here at UCLA Health. SAFER will be reimbursed as part of existing hospital DRG payment codes. And the reliance on existing codes means hospitals can maintain constant revenue streams while reducing their costs. We're looking to partner with an ISO 13485 certified manufacturer to produce and distribute our devices. Through frequent device testing in partnership with a simulation center here at UCLA Health, we plan to be ready for product launch within 36 months. We're looking to perform in vivo animal model testing in early 2022 and look to submit to the FDA by late 2023. We'll be seeking 510(k) clearance from the FDA with breakthrough device designation. SAFER is led by our interdisciplinary group of healthcare technology leaders across medicine, engineering, business development, and strategy. We have combined years of experience developing novel medical devices to bring to market. We have strategic and clinical advisors from top academic medical centers, including UCLA Health, the #3 hospital system in the United States. We're looking to raise $1 million in seed funding to advance the technology readiness level of our device and perform preclinical testing to validate our value proposition. This will go towards engineering and product work, along with critical key hires, and we're looking to expand our advisory board as well. Additionally, next month, we have the opportunity to pitch as finalists in the UCLA TDG Innovation Fund, where we're excited at the opportunity to receive a $150,000 non-dilutive grant to continue this work. Thank you for the opportunity to pitch to you tonight about this timely and relevant topic. I look forward to talking with you more in the coming months. Thank you.
"75% of millennial homebuyers feel overwhelmed, and they might be feeling that way for a number of reasons. But for starters, I'm a graduate student of business, and I don't recall one course where we learned about the mortgage process, property taxes, or other relevant home buying concepts." Hi, everyone. My name is Ruffin. I'm the founder and CEO of Balsa. Balsa is a digital community educating future homeowners and connecting to local real estate professionals, so you can buy a home with more confidence and less confusion. As I'm sure you could probably guess, Google is the first place most prospective buyers land when they're looking for more information on the buying process. In fact, last year, searches for how to buy a home soared 950%. But with so many complexities to the process and little background in real estate, most prospective buyers end up lost and confused in this crazy rabbit hole of Google searches. For those that don't give up altogether, their next move is often to connect with a realtor or lender for more guidance. But here's the thing, real estate professionals are busy getting deals done. So their core focus is just not on educating the client. Things might get brushed over, and in worst case scenarios, uneducated buyers could be misled. When I bought my first home, I had what I like to call a cheat code. My mom, founder and CEO of a residential firm in Charlotte, North Carolina, always a phone call, a text away, continues to coach me throughout my first-time homeowner journey. So I created Balsa to share that cheat code with other first-time buyers just like me. Our virtual real estate classes like Intro to Home Buying and Intro to Mortgage Finance prepare you with the fundamentals and are led by Balsa coaches who in their day-to-day are industry professionals like realtors and loan officers. Our digital community creates a safe space for like-minded first-time buyers to chat amongst themselves and ask questions. And then our agent matching service introduces those first-time buyers to vetted, high-quality real estate agents in their local communities. Balsa is a win-win solution for both sides of our marketplace. First-time buyers feel much more confident, much less stressed during this super important financial step. And then real estate professionals really benefit from a much more seamless buying process, starting with that client lead. So we charge homebuyers $55 per virtual real estate class, just like you would pay $25 to $30 to join a fitness class. Paying homebuyers creates this community of highly intentioned buyers, which allows us to keep quality of leads high, our agents happy, and really justifies our 25% commission split. Now you might be thinking, 25%, that sounds really high. But we've actually established a partnership with LRE, leading real estate companies of the world, which allows us to refer out at that standard rate. So to reach homebuyers nationwide, we're going to focus on the 4 strategies to the left. So far, organic content creation has been highly effective in creating a trustworthy and approachable brand. To reach the agents across the country, we're taking a much more narrow approach. Again, really focusing on working with the best of the best and leaning into that LRE network. So this is a huge market. In 2021, 2.4 million Americans will become first-time homebuyers and standing to earn agents $39 billion in commission. So yes, real estate information, real estate education is available online today. There's no question about that. But Balsa's community-focused brand is engaging and relating to the millennial first-time homebuyer in a different and much more meaningful way. And we're seeing that unfold in our beta community. Just last month, we launched beta class 1 and 2, and we organically received over 240 signups for those classes. Plus, we have real estate professionals that are excited and eager to be our first Balsa coaches. So as founder, I bring past experience from an Andreessen Horowitz-backed prop tech, and I have a team of advisors with combined senior level experience and networks in residential prop tech and fintech. Over the next quarter, we're working to expand our course content, recruit more real estate professionals to be our first Balsa coaches, and working to launch our digital platform. Early next year, we'll be looking to bring on strategic partners to lead our first round of capital, but we're excited to start networking with all of you now. So if you want to be part of a team making moves in financial inclusion, specifically relating to real estate, we would love to meet you. Please check out our website, balsaonhome.com, and feel free to reach me via email, ruffin@balsaonhome.com. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Warren, the CMO of Soonga Life. We are an online athletic apparel brand that landed at the perfect time. If there's some positive things that came out of the pandemic, people started going outside, they started working out, and they started to buy a lot of clothes online. Now, we're here today not to raise money, but to try to grow the team. Currently, it's myself and my business partner, Jeff, a few dozen contractors, and we're looking for a third person with entrepreneurial experience. This is Jeff. He is the founder of Sungalife. And before founding Sungalife, he was a Navy SEAL for just over a decade. While on the SEAL teams, he went down to Brazil, trained jiu-jitsu with the Gracie family. And while he was there, he discovered the fun pastime of going to the beach in a Sunga. And then while he was an active SEAL, he started Sungalife.com, bringing this product to the American market. This is me. Before Sungalife, I had a company that did casino-themed parties all throughout Southern California. At my peak, I did about 500 parties in 2019. We were moving and shaking, doing a lot of fun parties all over the place, and I loved my business. But in about spring 2020, something happened and people stopped calling me. So moved on and joined up with Jeff. So what is a Sunga? Sunga is the Portuguese word for swimming trunks, and they're popular all over the world. We brought them to the US and they're only growing in popularity here because if you're wearing a Sunga, you're probably doing something that is fun and that you love and makes you feel free out in the world. From the Sunga, we did other products with athletic apparel and athleisure options. However, our number one selling product is this. These are Sungalife Silkies. Silkies are military training shorts that we took and added fun, patriotic designs that people love for swimming, surfing, working out, getting outdoors. So the brand is aiming to be in the middle of the mixed martial arts world, the surfing and beach life, and the gym and CrossFit life. People who are Reebok probably aren't going to put on the Reebok shorts and go to the beach, and people who are wearing Quicksilver probably aren't going to put on those board shorts and go to the gym. We're trying to land between both of those and the MMA space, which we think is the most lucrative spot for a young brand. There's not really an outstanding lifestyle brand that represents MMA and brings the positivity of the beach and surfing culture and the mass appeal of the gym and CrossFit life. MMA equipment alone is a $250 million market. Now compare that with surfing, which is a $2 billion market with 600 million of that just being apparel. You know that tons of people who wear these brands down here, they just love the idea of going to the beach and whether they live near the coast or not. The gym market, of course, is massive at over $250 billion. But the MMA market, having a lifestyle apparel brand that represents some of this growing industry is where we're trying to land. What I thought was interesting is that the number of people who practice MMA regularly compared with the number of surfers really isn't that different. However, you can train MMA all throughout the country, all throughout the world, and not be locked in by the coast. So at the core of our marketing is getting good media. And to do this, we've got great products, we've got a great founding story. But on top of that, we're partnering with other organizations to do events with customers that will engage with us. So we'll promote our partners' events to our audience. They'll come and join the events or learn more about the organization. And then after the event's over, we'll re-market that content out to the current audience, and they continue to tell our story and grow our brand. And there is no shortage of organizations that want to partner with Sungalife. We add value to them by building up their story and sharing values, and they add value to us by consistently doing awesome things and giving us media to remarket. Some of our partners do incredible things out there in the world, from saving turtles down in Florida to getting adaptive athletes out on skis wearing silkies, out on wakeboards wearing silkies, or even having a whole flock of Navy SEALs swim across the Hudson River for charity. On top of the marketing that we curate ourselves through our partner events, we consistently have loyal fans posting on Instagram, going out in the world and tagging us. And there's no shortage of user-generated content that is continuously coming into our world that we're able to rebrand and remarket. So on top of having great products, a fun story, and a targeted brand, the number one reason that our customers come back to us, that they've told us, is that the products are quality. Right now, our marketing goals are to grow the email list, to grow our SMS subscribers, to double our Instagram, continue to grow our Sungo Squad members, and continue to buy ads profitably from about 15K a month to 50,000 a month. Currently, the website converts at 2.44%. We've got a $21 customer acquisition cost, $81 average order value, and we make about $20 of profit on the first order that a customer places. To date, we're at about a $707,000 year to date. However, we're expecting a huge quarter, a huge end to this quarter because we've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Veterans Day, which will be a huge promotion for us, plus Christmas, plus New Year's, which is one of the better times to buy new workout gear. So our ask is we're looking for somebody to be a COO with entrepreneurial experience or advisors to help us with that recruiting. 6 to 18 months from now, we're going to revisit the idea of bringing on investors that have relevant experience for us. And that's all I got. Thank you all for listening. My name again is Warren Lee, and thank you so much.
Did you know that drinking just 2 beers can be just as dehydrating as an hour-long workout? Hi, everyone. I'm Victoria Brodsky, former UC Berkeley nutritionist, proud Anderson Femba, class of 2023, and I created a company called Drink Light. We make beverages that help people rehydrate properly after drinking alcohol. So the problem is that most of you guys do know that alcohol is dehydrating, but very few of us actually do anything about it. Some people resort to life hacks or have a glass of water, but those are simply not effective enough. So the solution is Drink Light, a dedicated hydration product that is branded to educate, inform, and remind the consumer that it is important to rehydrate after drinking. Our formula is actually based off of the World Health Organization's research for the most effective and fastest hydration beverage. So not only are we fast, but we're also branded in a way that makes us very unique because we can sell to nightlife venues. So today, you're not going to find any sort of electrolyte beverage at a bar or at a party, but that's what we're doing with Drink Light. Our product comes in 2 form factors to both allow for easier consumption and for the consumer occasion. So we also have multiple avenues of sale with multiple products. So the cans and mixes are very symbiotic, and using one helps drive sales for the other. We currently sell our mixes on our website, drinklight.co, and our cans are found in a select number of bars in Southern California. So in order to understand the magnitude of this opportunity, I want to bring everyone back to 1965 before Gatorade. Gatorade did something that was very unique, and that was athletes didn't understand that they needed to have electrolytes after working out, right? Gatorade came in with their product, informed these athletes, and now they're the leader of a 23 billion sports drink category. So what does that have to do with us? Drinking most often dehydrates more than working out. Gatorade made the connection between electrolytes and working out, and they marketed and branded that message to the masses of America, not just athletes. So what we're doing at Drink Light is we are poised to message our information that you need to rehydrate properly after drinking to all of the drinkers in America. So if we capitalize on that, it is a $30 billion opportunity, every drinking occasion in the US. But if we look at this $1.2 billion opportunity, which is water bottle sales at nightlife venues in the US, that is definitely capturable, and here's why. No one else is going after it. It's just premium water fighting it out against other premium waters. Timing, of course, for an opportunity like this is very important, and this is the perfect time for Drink Light, and here's why. We are at the convergence of 3 upward market trends. Number one, 69% of Americans want to improve their health. 63% drink alcohol on a weekly basis, and 80% of them are actively seeking better hydration options. We are 3 times more hydrating than water. We have 1/3 of the sugar of all leading sports drinks. 9 times out of 10, consumers prefer us over Pedialyte in taste tests, as well as liquid IV and all other powder hydration options. We are also typically half the sugar of those options. Now, our business model is to essentially get the product in the hands of drinkers everywhere. Our 4-pack envelope is sold on our e-commerce website, and we already have a 60% customer return rate. Our 8-count retail boxes will be launching in retail in early 2022. And then our cans, again, are primarily for on-premise, but we've had a lot of interest in retail as well. So I started this company at the end of 2019. I had no idea if it was going to work. I took something that I felt very passionately about, which was a product that would help people balance hydration and health and going out and having fun. And I basically just took it to bars and said, I have this idea. I know this is hard to break into. Will you serve it to people? We tested with over 300 people, sampled at over 30 events, and within 3 months, already acquired 10 on-premise bar accounts. And that's very difficult to do for a non-alcoholic beverage. So much excitement in 2020, right? And then we all know what happens. So that was a downer, because all of a sudden our B2B business was gone in March. So what we did was, instead of get upset and sad, we decided we're going to make a product that's much easier to ship, because consumers are drinking at home. So we powderized our formula, which we hadn't had before, and we developed an e-commerce site, and we launched it. We launched it with the Accelerator, woohoo! And that is where we helped. That was where they helped us grow our team and start generating revenue, and initiate also some retail sales. So in 2022, we are poised for a fundraise. We are also doing a few brand updates, and we are doing hard sales and marketing initiatives. All right, our team is small but mighty. I'm the founder and CEO, and my business partner of 8 years, Matt, is our head of product development. That's why these products look so beautiful. And together we worked with over 10 startups as project managers to help launch other people's brands. We boast an advisory board of 2 beverage industry experts, Dinah Trout, founder and CEO of Health Aid Kombucha, and Brett Johnson, former VP of marketing of Rockstar and Pabst Blue Ribbon. And not seen here is our wonderful team of student interns. So we've spent the last 2 years using basically my bootstrapped savings and earnings to run this company to really determine what works financially for us and what creates the most return. So we pride ourselves on being scrappy and smart, and that's why we're looking for strategic investors to come in to help us with our growth stage in 2022. These funds will primarily go for inventory, sales, and marketing initiatives. So make sure you get your drink light and reach out to me, victoria@drinklight.co. Thank you very much.
There we go. All right. Good evening. I'm Dr. George Gluck, CEO and co-founder of SurgiStream. I've been an orthopedic surgeon for nearly 10 years, and I've curtailed my own practice to under 20 hours a week to focus on this endeavor. SurgiStream is a SaaS platform specializing in surgical logistics, including case scheduling and surgical implant delivery. So what's the problem with surgical logistics? Disorganized, inefficient communication. Traditional methods of organization, such as this whiteboard, are still used in this fast-paced industry. This whiteboard manages millions of dollars in inventory. It represents the state of the industry in many places where the rubber meets the road. And this is a big problem. It's not only costly due to case delays and cancellations, but it's also dangerous due to patient safety issues. These communication issues increase burnout amongst physicians, staff, and sales reps. And it doesn't have to be this way. And finding a solution to this problem is something that I'm passionate about. And this is our solution: real-time communication and scheduling. These images are from our actual platform, which has been beta tested for over a year, because this is a mission critical application that cannot fail. And we processed over 6,000 surgical cases thus far. There are three key stakeholders in this process: the surgical facilities and their staff, the vendors and device manufacturers, and the physicians and their clinics and staff. This slide reduces the complexities of surgical logistics down to those three key stakeholders. And what makes SurgiStream unique is that it bridges all the communication gaps in these stakeholders and follows the entire life cycle of a surgical case from beginning to end. This features overview slide demonstrates how SurgiStream connects with all of those key stakeholders while the competition falls short. There's another problem that SurgiStream addresses, and that's the problem of physician engagement. Device manufacturers and academic organizations are constantly trying to find new ways to engage with physicians, given the increasing time constraints in medical practice. As SurgiStream grows, it will create a novel marketplace. And rather than using advertising via a shotgun approach in a trade journal, which is very common, or a digital ad campaign, SurgiStream will provide an opportunity for just-in-time ads and education based on the physician's actual surgical schedule when they are most engaged in a procedure or surgery. The market within orthopedics alone is substantial: $40 billion in global sales, $25 billion in the US, and of the $8 billion that we are targeting, over $1 to $2 billion of that is spent on marketing. Our business model for this complex problem is quite simple. We have our core subscription revenue, which is more than adequate for SurgiStream to thrive. But it's this novel marketplace that will bring in significant income, not just within orthopedics, but other subspecialties as well. Our leadership team has a combined 50 years of industry experience on both the medical provider side as well as the device manufacturer side. Our CTO manages our engineering company, which has been with us since the company's inception and is also an equity partner. We're nearing the end of beta testing since the company was incorporated in June of 2018. We launched our beta platform at the end of 2019, and in the first year, we processed over 3,000 surgical cases. Since completing the Anderson Accelerator this past spring, we have partnered with device manufacturers representing over $2 billion in annual sales for pilot programs, which we expect to bring revenue between $50,000 and $100,000 by year's end. We plan to transfer to our subscription model in 2022, and we have raised over $900,000 to date and have capitalized over $500,000 in the platform. SurgiStream is seeking an additional $1 million in pre-seed investment for product development, employee compensation, marketing, and sales programs. Partner with us and help us redefine surgical logistics. Thank you.
All right, hello everybody. I'm Glenn Kelly, founder of Drive and an EMBA from 1996. I doubt if there's any other 96s out there, but not that much gray hair, right? But anyway, we are Car Ownership Reimagined. We're changing the name from 2UIQ to Drive in November. So we like to start with this question, what if, right? What if instead of having just the one car that I love to drive in my garage, what if I could drive all of the amazing cars I dream to drive, right? So we think that that question can finally be answered because the time is right. New generations are behaving and thinking differently. And, car ownership is transforming for the first time in 100 years. And there's four major reasons why. Broad acceptance of ride sharing, new subscription programs emerging, like with Porsche, rise of autonomous tech, and then this really cool social concept of changing skins. If anybody has kids that play Fortnite, you'll understand. So the automotive industry is also going through incredible transformation. There are hundreds of companies that have poured hundreds of billions into this transformation, many of whom you know well. And McKinsey says that within 5 years, up to 20% of all of the automotive sales in the US will be subscriptions. So we are revolutionizing car ownership and access. Sorry about my mask. I didn't realize it would do this when I spoke. But we think people shouldn't be limited to just one car. buying cars with loans and leases and insurance, right, can be a headache. Servicing cars can be time consuming. We think you shouldn't ever have to pick up and return cars when renting or accessing cars for any purpose. And the processes are broken. There's humans, paperwork, email involved in all of these. So the good news is the what if is here. We're launching on-demand multi-car subscriptions. So why own and just drive that Range Rover, which you love, when you could have access to that same Range Rover and all these other cool cars that you'd like to drive, convertibles, Teslas, better yet, get into an old classic and upgrade to an exotic. So what are on-demand multi-car subscriptions? For a little more than you'd pay for a car for, say, 3 years, for that same period of time, you get to share an amazing fleet of cars. You pick the drivers that you want to share cars with, you pick the cars to share, and with one simple monthly subscription payment, we do everything else. So you can subscribe in 5 easy steps. First, you select the target monthly payment and the cars you're interested in. There's a simple online application that takes 10 minutes. When approved, you select your cars, and then you e-sign our subscription agreement, and you schedule the first delivery of your car. Our tech platform has been designed from the beginning to simplify and amaze the entire process from end to end to make it elegant and super convenient. We're live today, fully operational in Los Angeles. We've had 400 rental share trips, and we're launching subscriptions as we speak. We've gone from 0 to 90,000 in monthly revenue in just 9 months. We're at a 4.8 out of 5 for the 400 trips in the app. We are signing 800,000 in contracted subscription revenue this month and next month. And we've got about 45 people of interest who will get us another 3 million of contracted subscription revenue in Q4. So the market opportunity is massive. We intend to do 12 million in year 1. By year 4, reaching just 0.05% of the US market will generate 500 million in revenue. And when we get to just under 1% of the US market, we'll be generating 7 billion a year in revenue. So look, the competition is definitely heating up. In fact, I saw a gentleman here with the kite logo on his mask. There's lots of cool new companies out there doing some amazing things. But really, rideshare, car share, traditional rental car companies, the OEMs, and the newcos really don't have the technology and the model, and especially the customer experience that we've built. So revenue growth has been great. We've been seeing double-digit revenue growth month over month since we launched. But when you take this revenue from rental share and you lay it over subscription revenue, right? Subscription revenue is really a game changer for us. And we're seeing explosive growth in revenue. We expect to have 2.5 million of contracted subscription revenue in Q4. So our financial model is built around a massive US TAM. The car purchase market in the United States is $1 trillion annually alone, 700 billion on new and the balance on used. And the car rental market is also massive with 100 rentals a year in the US. So by year 4, with just 6,400 individual subscribers, our company will generate 516 million in revenue and that's in-year revenue, and about 65 million in profits. We have an amazing team that we've built, 21 of us actively involved from companies you've heard of. We've got 4 Anderson EMBAs and FEMBAs in the program. Several of us have been involved in a number of startups with successful exits. All the tech has been built in-house by our dev team, an incredibly experienced team operating at scale. So we've achieved a number of milestones as a part of Accelerator. We launched in January. We reached our first 100 rental shares in March. We pivoted the company in September to subscription, and we signed our first cohort of 800,000 with 300,000 in the month of October, and we surpassed $1 million in annualized revenue. So we are transforming car ownership in the US and then around the world. And in terms of the round, we're raising $2.5 million to achieve certain milestones. We are launching subscriptions as we speak. In November, they'll be live. 220 subscriptions in year 1, 12,000 rental share trips in year 1 as well. We've raised 1.2 million to date. We've got verbal commitments for a little over 3 million now in the round. But until the check is in the bank, you know how this is. If you raised money before, we're always open to talking to investors. And we're certainly interested in discussions about A round as well, even if the seed closes as is. It's a great angle to invest in the disruption that's happening in automotive instead of having to put up the big dollars into autonomous and EV. So join the revolution. If you're interested in subscription and getting access to many cars instead of one, send us an email at subscribe@drive.com. Thank you, Trish, and the Accelerator. Appreciate it.
Good evening. I'm Laila Proença. I am the founder and CEO of VetAhead. I'm also a proud Latina female founder. VetAhead is an ed tech company for veterinarians that want to learn about ZooMed. ZooMed is exotic animal medicine. You know, I am the CEO and founder, but in my world, CEO stands for something a bit different. It stands for creative and visionary and opinionated. So much so that I don't want your money. I'm not here for that. You can drop your wallets. I'm here for something way more valuable than your money. I'm here to find one person, just one person that can dream as big as I can, that has a vision and know how to get there. You know, I'm not your average veterinarian, if you couldn't tell by now. I am one of the only 200 specialists in the world. You heard me right. One of the 200, the only South American. And that's interesting because at vet school, you would think that we learn about all species, that we leave vet school and we can see a bird and a dog and a cow. That's not true. In vet school, we do not get trained to see ZooMed or exotic animals like bunnies, birds, snakes, turtles. When we leave vet school, we have no clue what to do with these animals. But guess what? They still come to us. And that brings me to a story. A few years ago, I saw this couple, middle-aged couple, both wearing matching shirts with a little kid on them. And they had a bunny, cutest thing. This bunny had dental problems. And it was a very, very advanced disease. They had been to 5 veterinarians before me, 5, seeking for help. My colleagues couldn't do anything because they didn't know how. Remember, we're not trained in vet school. They wanted to help, but they didn't know what to do. So when it came to me, it was already too late. And I had to deliver the news to that couple that there was nothing I could do for their pet. That was when they burst in tears and told me that that little girl in their shirt had died a few months ago. Prior to that, it was their daughter and the owner of that rabbit. At that moment, I made a vow to share knowledge. So things like that didn't happen anymore. And that happens to 16% of the households in the United States. 16% of the households here own ZooMed or exotic pets. And guess what? People love their ZooMed pets as much as they love a dog or cat, and they spend the same amount of money. So it's kind of we have a kind of a disconnection here because we have all these veterinarian professionals in the US, in the world. We have all these owners with their beloved exotic pets or ZooMed pets, and they are disconnected. Because in one side, we have the veterinarians that want to see the patients, but they don't know how. And the other side, they have the owners that love their pets and want to seek care for them, but they can't find help. So it's a very simple solution. We need to build a bridge, and we are that bridge. So we teach online courses for ZooMed, so our veterinarians, we can empower the veterinarians and veterinary professionals to see those animals. Our process is very simple. As a matter of fact, I heard from my friends, entrepreneurs here tonight, that COVID really hit them hard. They had to rethink their businesses. For us, unfortunately or fortunately, COVID kind of helped. Because one of the challenges I had before was to convince that you can teach someone online. We don't have that problem anymore. But now I need to tell you that you can teach and be entertained. It doesn't need to be boring. It's not that PowerPoint slide with a little picture of the person on the corner that you're doing 10,000 things while you're taking a class and you need to keep your cameras on. So we want to make something more engaging. We want to do something a masterclass style, a storytelling that feels like the instructor is talking to you. So that's what we did. Our instructors are all specialists like me. We have medical illustrations that are exclusive to us. We teach with pictures, videos, and it's a very, very high quality production, which is basically our cost. We can do this bootstrap. And that's why I don't need your money. Not only we can do it, we've done it. Let me show you.
Some anatomical considerations of the female rabbit. The female rabbit, the uterus is bicornate, and each one of the cornea has one cervix. So you actually have 2 cervix total, and there is no urine body in the female rabbit. The fallopian tube, which is the isthmus, the ampulla, and the infundibulum, is very long, is very convoluted, friable. It's a deep red, and it extends all the way between the cornea and the ovary.
Reproductive tract in rabbits. And you get a certificate. We are already rolling, as you can see. This is one of our courses. We already have many veterinary professionals buying our courses. You know what warms my heart is when they send us messages saying that finally they can see these animals. They send pictures of these animals being healthy, being treated. And that to me is the purpose of our company. We have all this traction already, and we have veterinarians coming back for more. And here's where I'm going with this. I don't want to think small, but I need someone to help me think big, bigger than I can even imagine. And someone that can help me scale and get there. Our goal is to build more and more courses and go to a subscription model. And then we want to scale internationally and reach everybody that has access to internet. So that's our goal today. And I believe so much in this company that 2 weeks ago, I quit my full-time job, and now I'm 100% vet ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you, UCLA. And if you need to, and if you need to, and if you need to talk to me, this is my email, and I hope to meet that one person tonight. Thank you.
Good evening. How's everybody doing? All right. Okay, that was a little bit energetic. Thank you for the energy. My name is Mitch. I'm an inclusive product designer, an MBA, a former elite athlete, and a former Nike employee. And our startup, Oya FemTech Apparel, is functional fashion for women who sweat. So as I'm sure you guys have noticed, ever since COVID started, athleisure is everywhere. From celebrities to your moms, your sisters, your friends, your daughters, maybe your wife, athleisure and leggings are here to stay. And that's because the global athleisure market is expected to be over $500 billion by 2025, especially since that market has been growing over 26% year over year since the beginning of COVID. However, despite the size of the athleisure market, there's still a big problem with women's sweat, because sweat leads to bacteria and moisture. Now, I started Oya because I lived in athleisure as an elite athlete, and I was constantly having sweat-related health issues, from chest rashes up top from too much sweat to repeated yeast infections, because I did not realize, ding dong, I didn't realize that wearing leggings actually make you 2 times more likely to develop frustrating issues like yeast infections because one, leggings trap sweat, and two, they do not let vaginas breathe. However, what I did learn is that I was not alone. In the US alone last year, women spent over $18 billion. Yes, let that sink in. $18 billion to treat frustrating health complications like yeast infections that Oya can help prevent naturally. Unlike competitors, we're all about the mesh to ventilate the body and wick and evaporate sweat because we believe that ventilated apparel equals healthier women. Our first product was the Oya Goddess legging with innovative crotch gusset technology. On the left, you can see that we have 3 antimicrobial mesh panels that promote ventilation as well as kill bacteria. On the right, you can see that our leggings come with a removable, reusable insert that absorbs all sorts of moisture from sweat to urinary incontinence leaks. The top and bottom of the crotch gusset are made of a lightweight antimicrobial mesh so vaginas can breathe comfortably without building up sweat or bacteria or odor like competitor leggings. We've already filed a provisional utility patent with Finwick and West and are on track to complete our patent this December. So I'm very excited about that. In addition to problems down below, we've also learned that millions of women suffer from sweat issues up top, which leads to issues like chafing and rashes. So we expanded our collection and we're now prototyping new functional fashion forward tops that ventilate breasts. These will also be included under utility patents as we scale. We have 4 products available this fall in 2 colors across sizes extra small through extra large. Our leggings are $94 per legging and they come in 2 lengths, which are full lengths and 7/8 lengths if you're a shorty like me. We sold out of our first batch of leggings this past spring and are now offering 2 line extensions, including the crop top and light and regular inserts. We're also exploring a subscription model for these inserts because they last anywhere from 5 to 15 washes because they're reusable. Short story, Oya is awesome. We've sold to over 200 women and we get 5 stars across the board because we also generated a 4-month-long waiting list. Oya will initially target health-conscious millennial and perimenopausal women who are casual athletes because these women represent big markets with big problems that our competitors are not listening to, meaning that our customers' willingness to pay is high. We will target moms who are casual athletes later as we scale and mature as a business. Our niche customer focus is key. We're the first athleisure brand to prioritize women's health. And again, this past spring, we launched our first collection, including the first gynecologist-tested athlete-approved legging, and we sold out, generating over a 12x return on customer acquisition costs in 1 month, as well as that 4-month-long waiting list. We've already raised over 100K and established significant partnerships and won many prestigious awards, as you can see here. Unlike us, competitors typically focus on athletic branding or style and fit, not feminine health. And I consider this a joke. You may not think it's funny, but one joke I like to tell about this is, when have you ever heard Nike say the word breast? Or what about Lululemon say the words vagina? Never, exactly. And we see that as an opportunity for Oya because we offer a far superior product that is addressing an underlooked niche customer need. And we're serving that, our solution is serving that at a similar price point. We know, because we know what our competitors are selling, we are getting good at efficiently reaching our customers. We figured out that they like to use words like vagina, like, do you want a healthier vagina? Do you want a happier vagina? Things like that. And so we've already seen our digital marketing funnel results already outperform industry averages, with ad click rates that are anywhere from 16 to 11 times higher than industry averages, and sales rates that are already on par with industry averages. Also, we're getting really, really good at guerrilla marketing. With our Nike Ops experience, we built a supply chain that delivers strong unit economics from launch. In year 1, we anticipate a 71% gross margin, and our margins will further improve as the business scales. We're also produced and made here in LA, everything from our fabrics to our sewings, all the way down to our labels. So we're very proud of that. We seek $1 million of investment over the next 2 years for activities like manufacturing and marketing. We plan to generate 1.4 million in revenue in year 1 and 57 million by year 5, given our scalability and rapid growth potential. Our team has the expertise to scale and be successful in this business. This is already my 4th successful company, and I just turned 30, so I'm also pretty excited about that. Below, we are also joined by 4 accomplished advisors across consumer and marketing, as well as fashion. We need at least $500,000 to roll out Oya, but we'd like $1 million over the next year or 2 to meet our aggressive goals that you can see here on the left. And on the right, you can see how we would break down our spend of funds across production, marketing, packaging and shipping, as well as corporate headcount. Lastly, I'm asking you to invest in and think and consider more and support feminine health by either investing in Oya, following us on Instagram, buying our products on our Kickstarter campaign, or just following us on social media. Because we're already paving the way to support happy, healthy bodies and build this multi-million-dollar business for acquisition within 3 to 5 years. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm John Dalsey, and I'm the co-founder of Nectar Hard Seltzer. While working in the beer industry, I watched the explosive growth of White Claw in 2019 during the White Claw summer and the subsequent dog pile that was everybody piling into the space doing the same thing. It was the same 4 flavors: grapefruit, black cherry, lime, mango. But more importantly, no one was telling a story and no one was building a brand. I reached out at that point to my best friend from college, Jeremy Kim, who, while I was working in the beer industry, he was working his way up in the music industry, breaking artists, using outside the box marketing tactics, quite literally taking kids out of their bedrooms and turning them into multi-million-dollar international touring acts on shoestring budgets. 2 weeks later, after talking to a friend in Shanghai and realizing that hard seltzer still did not exist in the Asian markets, Jeremy called me with what was the origin of our idea. We were going to create the first Asian-inspired hard seltzer. We were going to break it in the US and then take it overseas. We have some of the best flavors: yuzu, mandarin, lychee, and Asian pear, as well as industry-leading macros. More importantly, though, we're focusing on flavors that currently everyone else is ignoring. 8 months ago, we had 0 sales and 0 customers. Fast forward to today, we're available in over 250 stores, self-distributed across California and LA, with the #1 hard seltzer on TikTok. And since moving to our new co-packer where we can actually scale, we've done just under $370,000 in sales. All of this we did as a couple of guys in wigs with just 1 delivery truck. Beyond Jeremy and I's complementary skill sets, Jeremy focusing on branding and marketing, and me focusing on production and distribution, we've expanded our team to include some industry veterans, where collectively we have 75 years of experience both in alcohol and marketing. So how do we do it? After finally getting a box at the end, towards the end of 2020, we went to 200 stores in LA. Nobody said no, but no one said yes. It was like this awkward gray area because everyone was like, show me that you have followers, or show me that you have sales, and we'll give you a chance. But without anyone giving us a chance, how are we ever going to get there? So at that point, out of money, we turned to TikTok to tell our story, raw, unfiltered, both our failures and our successes of trying to start a business during the pandemic. And at the end of that video, we put our phone number. Because at that point, we just wanted to know, did we totally miss on this idea? Or was there other people out there that believed in it as much as we did? Overnight, some of those videos went viral, and we had hundreds of people start texting us, asking, where can I buy the drink? Where can I buy the drink? Then we went to 2 stores in LA for our initial launch, and we leveraged those stores to give us a chance. And our first day selling product, we sold 150 cases in just under an hour. At that point, we knew we had something. At that point, we knew we had something. And we expanded on that idea because since we were self-distributing, we could literally have people text in, and once we got to a critical mass, we could then expand our distribution into that city. We went on to go to San Diego, Orange County, San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, Sacramento, Seattle, New York.
all of them getting bigger and bigger. In San Francisco, we sold the most cases of any new brand in the first day ever in BevMo's history. We sold 300 cases in 15 minutes. So by driving people through TikTok to SMS, then to retail, we're able to create long-term repeat purchases. Currently, we're in Total Wine and BevMo, as well as GoPuff and Taproom, but we're expanding to new retailers in the next few months, including H Mart, 99 Ranch, and others. As we're expanding distribution, we're doing so looking at our data as targetedly as possible. Because we know where our customers are located, we're able to kind of cherry pick which markets we think would be the most successful with the least amount of resources. Beyond just marketing, we've secured supply chain with two of the most premier co-packers in North America, both for East Coast and West Coast production, as well as the necessary supply agreements for us to scale our production, if necessary, up to 1.5 million cases by the end of 2022. We're raising $2 million on a $14 million safe, of which we will use that money to invest in marketing, expanding our team with some critical hires, as well as funding purchase orders, sales, and distribution. I appreciate your time. Thank you for your consideration, and a special thank you to Trish, who found us, I think, when we were like still nothing. So thank you for giving us a chance.
Thank you so much to all of our founders for their presentations tonight, and to all of you in the audience, whether you're here in person or whether you're joining us virtually. I'm Beatina Teopold, and I'm the new Senior Program Manager for the Venture Accelerator at UCLA Anderson. I'm really happy to be here just to see all of the progress that these companies have made, and I'm really excited to introduce my colleagues, Ray and Fallon.
Thanks, Beatina. I am Ray Park. I'm the marketing coordinator for the Venture Accelerator team. I'm just so proud and excited to be part of this amazing team and to see our brilliant founders, just continue and grow their amazing companies. I just want to make sure everyone to follow us at Anderson Entrepreneurship for more. Fallon?
Thank you, Raymond. My name is Fallon Coleman. I am the Senior Program Coordinator for the Accelerator. UCLA and Anderson has a long tradition of graduating successful startups. In fact, in 2018, the Boston Consulting Group study says that UCLA graduates the largest number of startups a year. With that being said, we will now have our 4 company alumni updates, starting with the HERDCO. Taylor?
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Taylor Heisley-Cook, co-founder and CEO of the HERDCO, where we make it possible to make clothes from agricultural waste. Now, when we reach for our favorite t-shirt, we don't often think about what it's made from, but there are 3 main kinds of fabric used in apparel today. There's natural fabric like cotton, synthetic fabric like polyester, and then there's man-made cellulosic fabric, or MMC fabric, which is better known by the highlighted names you see up on the screen. MMC fabric is actually the fastest growing part of the textile industry. It's a $25 billion industry today, projected to double by 2025. When people hear those MMC names like viscose, rayon, or lyocell, they usually assume they're synthetic, but they're actually made from trees. Over 200 million trees are logged every year and processed into feedstock pulp, which then goes on its journey through the supply chain to become clothing. At the HERDCO, we disrupt this process by making it possible to use agricultural waste instead of trees. So we use the plant material that's normally thrown away or burned after food crops are harvested, and we use our patented process to transform it into agrelose, the first MMC feedstock pulp made from 100% agricultural waste. Now, agrelose is sustainable and tree-free, but importantly, it's also the same quality and the same price as tree pulp, making it an easy substitute for manufacturers and an easy choice for brands. So since finishing the accelerator last year, we've had a really busy year. We've been primarily focused on R&D, making sure agrelose matches tree pulp chemically, and so it can be that easy one-to-one substitute. We're proud to share we hit those numbers a few months back, and we're now in extrusion trials to take it through to fiber. Those trials have been supported by Patagonia, and we are currently in the Fashion for Good program, which is the premier program for materials innovators in the apparel space. We're developing a pilot collection within the FFG, Fashion for Good ecosystem, bringing 5 product lines to market by 2023 with their brands. For context, here are some of the brands in the FFG ecosystem, and we're working with 5 of those brands. Up next for us, we are opening a seed round in Q1 to get our first big facility up and running and expand our operational capacity. So if you're interested to learn more about the HerdCo, or if you're interested in the seed round, please reach out to hello@theherdco.com. Thanks so much.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Juan Banch, and I'm one of the founders of VTest, a COVID-19 rapid diagnostics device with applications beyond with the flu and cancer detection. You can see literally a device right there. Let's say you're going to a party tonight or tomorrow. You pull it out, you blow on it, and you get your results within 5 minutes. You forgot you're visiting grandma the next day. You throw away the recyclable pod, you put another one, you blow on it, and the family is safe. Clearly, I'm making a lot of big claims with the difficulties COVID has left the world in. That's why what we're tackling is the difficulties that COVID tests currently are having, which is they're either slow, or they're expensive, or they're painful, like a PCR nose swab. Some tests take care of one or the other, but never all 3. And that's what we do. As I mentioned, it takes 5 minutes. It's a rapid test. It's low cost, cheaper than all the alternatives, and it's reusable. All those pods that I mentioned cost $5 after each. We have a patent pending on the technology that makes this happen to ensure we stay competitive. And it's as simple, as I mentioned, as blowing air through a straw. Clearly, we're making big claims. That is why we've already tested this on patients in Italy. And it's accurate. We literally matched the PCR test side by side with ours, and they matched. And it's quickly approvable because we fall under the EUA 510K, which is the FDA's emergency use authorization for COVID-19. It's also important to talk about the growing and expanding market. The Biden administration invested $1 billion at the start of this October to ramp up production of these at-home tests. There's been worldwide 2.8 billion tests and 1.5 million daily tests in the US alone. Now, if we take a look at the US, one of the markets that we're interested in is Hawaii, because you need a negative test result to enter. So if we target airports and we take 50% of the visitors, that's 2.7 million yearly tests. And with a startup cost of $20 for our device and a pod, that's at least 54 million in yearly revenue. Of course, to do this, we have to crush the competition. And that's why the biggest and most important is the early stage accuracy. This means you can literally take it like the PCR within 1 to 2 days post-infection to get your results, because we test directly for the presence of the virus, unlike the others. Additionally, we bring the other benefits that PCR doesn't have, which is fast results, painless, and low cost. You must have seen the $100 tests outside, or maybe if you want the cheapest and maybe not the best, a $35 one on Amazon. But think about the reusable one that we have with $5 tests after the startup cost. And as I mentioned, this can be expanded to other areas. If we replace the pods, we can test for the flu virus or any virus that we know the composition of. Additionally, this allows for cancer detection via liquid biopsy rather than regular biopsy, which requires surgery. And how is this possible? Well, we have some patented research. And basically, we have Daniel, which is one of our co-founders in Italy, that pre-published the paper at the start of October, outlining the technology that makes this happen. Please ask me about it later if you're more interested in it. And the team has been working since the start of COVID-19 back in May 2020. I'm Juan. I'm doing a master's and a bachelor's and master's at UCLA. I've worked at Alcatera and I've worked at Facebook, Accenture, among others. Richard, who's right here, is a multi-company founder, and he has a PhD from the University of Wuppertal, has worked at Teledyne, and is of course the CEO of Alcatera, which is the spin-off company that we come from. And finally, Danielle is the lead biologist, as I mentioned, who takes care of, who is the associate professor at Mark Polytechnic, and who has experienced research, is an experienced research from several other universities. And that's the team. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed, and contact us at info@vitest if you have any questions.
What's up, everyone? Nice to meet you. I'm Sid. Can everyone hear me? Cool. So today I'm going to talk about Kona. I'm the co-founder CEO, and we're a mental health platform for remote teams. Our mission is to make it normal, mainstream, to be a good person at work. Crazy concept, right? Emotional well-being matters at work now. I'm 21 years old. My generation, I don't know how old you guys are, but in our generation, we work at companies where we feel cared for, where we feel supported, where we feel like our team, our managers actually think about our well-being and make decisions based off of what's best for us. Companies that care about people are the only ones that can be competitive in today's global talent marketplace. So back in October 2019, when my co-founders and I started looking into remote work, we'd all had been burned by poor remote work experiences before. I literally had a company fail because I couldn't lead a remote team properly. And we just started by asking like 200 plus managers, what is the hardest part about your job? What do you find difficult about your day-to-day life? And we kept hearing the same thing again and again, which was, I have no idea how my team is feeling. And as a result, I can't support them properly. That's where Kona comes in. It's a really simple Slack integration that asks you and your team in Slack, how are you feeling every day? You put down red, yellow, or green. You put down an emoji and you put down a comment. So for example, you can see Bill here today marked red because his life is a dumpster fire right now. This is actually a screenshot of our check-ins from our internal Slack, where Sarah was excited about our new OKRs. Kareen was worried about a thunderstorm. It's just like, what is going on in your life? It could be work-related, it could be not work-related. And that powers a ton of analytics into, for example, Kona will flag, hey, Sid, this person on your team is struggling. Maybe you want to check in with them. They've checked in yellow 30% more than they normally do. This person is at risk of burning out. This person is tired. This person has been sick. It helps you stay on top of a large remote team when in person you might have just been able to, like, I don't know, walk around and see people's body language. Kona gives you that emotional context that you don't get in a remote environment. People love Kona and use it every day. Our customers include companies like Greenhouse, Aircall, Thrasio, GoodRx, Coffee Meets Bagel, tons of awesome, like high growth, culture focused tech startups. We've doubled our revenue every quarter this year. And on average, people are checking in 3 to 4 times a week, which is almost every day. Basically, we haven't lost a single customer since we launched the product in July 2020. And over 100, actually, this is maybe even a bit outdated. There's like 160 teams using Kona every single day. We did, for a previous company, I did the UCLA Anderson Accelerator. And then with Kona, we went through Techstars and raised $1 million in 2020 from investors like Kleiner Perkins, Zillow's founder, Spencer Raskoff, Amazon's number 2 exec, Jeff Wilkie, the first investor in Slack, and a bunch of other really cool people. We're not raising right now, but if you're interested in chatting, we probably will be raising at some point in the future. And please reach out, sid@heykona.com. Yeah, I guess just like to recap, our mission is to make being a good person at work mainstream. Thank you.
With this course, I don't want to just teach you an algorithm that you will blindly enact. I want to provide a lens with which to view the universe. And if we can do that, the exam will be no problem.
The great thing about biology is that you actually start to realize that there is so much that you don't know.
One common misconception about financial literacy is that this is only reserved for the uber wealthy. But I'm here to tell you this is actually for everybody, and this is very, very easy to understand.
Everyone always says, I'm never going to use this math in real life, except you will. Algebra is the math you use in real life.
A misconception about acting is while you're acting, you're thinking about you. But what you really need to be thinking about is the other person talking to you.
We study the brain, we study evolution, we study behavior, we study consciousness. We study the point where all these things intersect. And if you're doing it right, you'll end up with more questions than you started with.
This class is an invitation for you to learn on your own terms,
Earn college credit, and even learn to think critically about the world around you.
That is a skill that will last you a lifetime.
So if you're ready to get started,
You can choose your membership and become an Emil member.
and become an Emil member,
And become an Emil member today.
Become a member today. Yeah.
I'm gonna see you in class. Don't be late, because I don't play that.
Thanks for having me back, everyone. Really excited. Mike Villardo, Anderson 21 grad. A big thank you, especially to Trish. I was able to go to the Anderson Accelerator Winter 2020 cohort, and Dean Bernardo back there, who's actually on our academic advisory board. We're building Emil, which is the Netflix of education. What does that mean? We're really trying to simulate that Netflix documentary or docuseries. When you're up late at night, you can't go to bed, you got to watch the next episode, you're so engaged, you're learning so much. How do we bring that level of engagement to an academically accredited model with high level academic integrity? And that's exactly what we're doing here at Emil. We're now at 23 classes for credit. You can go on our platform today and access all of them. We'll have over 100 classes of credit by the summer of next year. And it's been a really exciting ride as we just launched this October 8th of 2020. In the past year, in May of 2021, we raised our seed angel round from Kleiner Perkins, SoftBank, and Owl Ventures, a 5.4 million round. And we actually just raised our Series A in August, a 27.5 million round from Owl, Kleiner, and SoftBank as well. And so that is an undisclosed, unannounced round yet, but we'll be going public with that around the new year to kind of boost B2B sales as we go into second semester. We're really excited though, mostly because the team we're building, and that's what I'm here today for really, is to continue to acquire and attract top tier talent. We just hired our first 2 Anderson grads. One is a 2022 grad, Amir Ferry. He'll be starting next year with us, and he starts interning next week. Josh Gao, a 2020 grad, he'll be starting next week as well. And so super excited to stay tied into the Anderson network. We're really excited because now that we've been able to get accredited by NCAA, College Board, University of California A through G, Cognia, and WASC, we now can issue full-time high school and in some cases via the APs, college credit for our classes. With this in mind, we've gone through a pretty big business model pivot of going traditionally 100% B2C to now over 95% of our revenue is B2B, where we have close to 2 million in B2B commitments thus far, with over 15 school partners across the US. What you could do to help us is, we're always looking for the best, most talented people in the area. We're actually default to an in-person office situation right now. So all 51 employees report to our LA headquarters. We're about to launch a Seattle and New York office in the next 6 months. And so anybody in those cities as well, we'd be really excited about bringing on board. Top tier technical talent is our biggest focus. So software engineers, product managers, product designers, because we want to build a product-led company that can truly impact millions of kids around the world. Our mission, as we've really iterated upon over the last year and a half, is to help kids identify their most monetizable skill set as early as possible in life. Now, many people, 30, 35, 40 years old, before you truly discover your passion, what if you could identify that at 15, 16, 17 years old? Your life trajectory is affected by your 14-year-old performance. High school is so important to your long-term success, both personally and professionally. We're so emphatically passionate about this because we're going to have a chance to truly open doors for kids to be able to achieve better than their zip code or their parents' wealth ever could have dictated. I'm from the Midwest originally, and one of the biggest things I pitch with investors and recruits is, step out of the LA, SF, New York bubble for a second
and think about going to North Dakota, Kansas, Nebraska, we can already simulate a better learning experience for 99% of those kids. And imagine how much that's accentuated when you go into Latin America and abroad. We have big time vision to be able to expand this and bring an international blend of Westernized education with a top teacher for a given subject. Think all of the Peloton model, bring them to LA, use our first class production facilities to be able to scale via technology and media, and empower any kid around the world to learn from the best instructor in that given subject. But I really appreciate you having me back on campus. It's been great. A lot of nostalgia. The buildings are beautiful. It's good to be able to see some of the growth here. But any way that I can help you, please let me know. I'm very accessible via LinkedIn, Michael Villardo, if you could please add me. But really looking to be able to scale out the team specifically in LA, Seattle, and New York. And we'll be looking to raise our Series B by the end of next year. So probably November, December 2022. But thank you again, Trish, Dean Bernardo, Elaine, Al. Really appreciate you guys having me back today.
So I want to thank all the companies, and it's really awesome, especially for the ones that were students while they were here. Just the amount of the ability to balance all the demands for what you saw tonight, and also during the pandemic. This tonight was all during the pandemic. So congratulations to the founders. We always like to joke that I'm Greek, so if you're a friend, your family, you can't escape. Same thing for the founders. Once you're in the program, you're in the program. We do always use the Anderson resources to consistently support, be it a current cohort, alumni cohort. And for you who participated tonight by Zoom, thank you. It's really up to you guys to come in and help these early stage founders get to that next level. I think UCLA Anderson definitely proves that they've got the quality and the types of founders that deserve your help and your investments. So thank you very much. Hopefully next year we're back in person. We can share a drink. In the meantime, thank you. Be safe, be productive. Talk to you later.
Sorry, Trish. Please stay here. On behalf of the whole Accelerator team, we would like to give you a big, huge thank you. Like Al mentioned earlier, both he and Elaine helped to shape the vision of the Accelerator and also bring it to reality. So we would like to thank you for executing that. So thank you very much.
Thank you. And thanks to these guys, because they, within a couple months of being here, got us here tonight with the attention to detail, blood, sweat, and tears. Here we are. Thank you. Much appreciated. Thanks, everybody.